Well, here it is night again, and we're out on my porch. You may as well sit down. This is going to take a while. It always seems to, doesn't it? That can't be helped. You know, a story, you think of a story as a line. You know, you start at point A and you end at point B. That would be nice. Only, that's not a story. That's a grocery list of facts. Stories are, well, some of them are like this. You know, it's a thing, but all kinds of things led to it and came from it. And that's a story. That's all stories. But stories are also kind of knots. And I probably borrowed enough from John Crowley right there to alert the copyright people. Maybe not. And he writes so generously, John Crowley does, that I think he might forgive me. I recommend his work. And what he has to say about stories, that's an Indian summer, is true. They're knots, they're poems, they're rarely straight lines. They're rarely straight lines. People want to imagine that a story is a straight line. You're just imagining it. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. I want to talk about my Uncle Wilburn. And Uncle Wilburn was my father's eldest brother. Well, you could say elder brother, because there wasn't another one after him. So that makes just the two of them. And then there was my father's younger brother, who still lives, thank God, and that's Eddie. And my father's elder sister, who also still lives, thank God, and that's my Aunt Barbie, whom I adore. Well, boy, did I love Uncle Wilburn, too. And he said that the day he discovered that he loved me, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and we had got a new place, and I was showing him around, which didn't take long, of course, because we didn't live in a big place, and we came to the last room, and I said, promise me you won't go through that door. A 4 or 5 year old kid. And he said, I promise. Why? And I said, because on the other side of that door is the Twilight Zone. Well, you know, he laughed. And as he should have. And I laughed. And he didn't go through that door, because he had promised. There wasn't really anything on the other side of it anyway. Nothing important. And I think it was a closet. The end of that matter is that he decided that at that moment he loved me. And I guess it's because of the sense of humor, the imagination, realm of imagination, and And maybe it was just the grace of God. Maybe. Just. It's always the grace of God. Just the grace of God. It's the only thing that gets anything done. Uncle Wilburn. Uncle Wilburn worked all the time. Man, all the time. And some of the time when he was working, and I mean always, some of the time when he was working, I'd see him with a Red Dot cigar, which were terrible, horrible, cheap cigars. I'm sure they didn't used to be back in the 1930s, but they were by the 1960s. A lot of things had taken a dive by the 1960s. And, not my fault, I was just a baby. The other times I saw Uncle Wilburn smoking a pipe, he was smoking alpha or something, an alpha. And at the time, I had grown up and I'd gone to work in the Gatlinburg area, and I got married. It's the best thing, man. I got so lucky. So, I never saw Uncle Wilburn with a good pipe, so I bought him a Ben Wade there at the pipe shop where I worked. And Caitlin and I got in the car, and I said, let's go see Uncle Wilburn. And she said, okay. Bless her. And we went to Uncle Wilburn's house and sat down on the porch with him. And Aunt Burma came out, and she said, boy, I thought I heard your father out here, 'cause we all sound alike. We're all basses in my family. Even the women are basses. Well, that's not true. But a couple of them were. Aunt Virginia and Aunt Evelyn, they had very low alto voices. We'll say that. And I gave Uncle Wilburn this Ben Wade. Now, I'm not smoking a Ben Wade tonight. I'm smoking a Mike Stewart pipe, and it's mighty good. And Uncle Wilburn looked at that Ben Wade. Oh, he appreciated it. You could see the way he was examining it. He was looking at the grain. He was looking at the way it had been carved, where the bird's eye hit, where the straight grain was. And I had bought him the nicest one I could afford. And because it was for my uncle that I loved. And I wanted to take him the best pipe, not only that I could afford, but the best pipe he ever had. I wanted to bring him the best pipe he ever had. And he had been smoking a pipe from before I was born. That was kind of silly of me to think that I could. He said, it occurs to me I've never showed you my pipe collection. And I thought, well, Uncle Wilburn, I've seen your pipe collection. I've seen it every time that I've come over and you've been working and you've got a pipe tucked in your mouth and it's an alpha. And, yum, yum, yeah. That's what you got. You got a bunch of alphas and, probably Graybows and K-Woodies and stuff. And no, he brought out that pipe rack. There was the oddest Dunhill I'd ever seen. was just the bowl, and it had this really narrow, turned out to be carbon fiber stem, and then the mouthpiece was fitted to that. I have a pipe much like that now. It's a good smoke. And he had another Dunhill besides, and he had a couple of really nice freehands, a Peterson, and he had a Stanwell, and he had a Savinelli autograph, is what I'm trying to get around to saying. A Savinelli autograph. And I brought him a bloody Ben Wade, thinking I was going to bring him the best pipe he ever had. And he took that pipe, and he looked at it with love in his eyes, the love he had for me. And he set it in the rack with the others. Proud of it, proud to have it. Do I need to say what that's like? Probably not. It was the best I could do. I thought I was doing great. It made him proud, because he loved me. And it really was nice. But he made it nicer by putting in that rack. And I said, Uncle Wilburn, let's smoke. He said, let's do it. And he took that Ben Wade out of the rack, and we loaded up. And we lit up right like this. My Burma brought us out some cups of coffee. And we smoked and we drank coffee. And we talked. His love perfected my gift. Good words to remember. Good words to think on. And because we are supposed to be like that, someday, someone whom you love and who loves you is going to bring you the best thing that they can think of. Or they're going to do for you the best thing that they could imagine. Or maybe they'll sing you a song. Or maybe they'll tell you a story. And you need to receive it with all the love you bear for them, and dignify that gift, and magnify that gift, and perfect that gift. You know why. You already know why. Going to bed now.